What's up everyone on the internet? Thank you for making this video party. I'm so excited to upload this one for you guys because this video we're diving back into the world of Konosuba with the series' first movie, Konosuba Legend of the Crimson. This movie came out back in 2019, which is crazy because when you look at the gap between this and the second season of the series, there was actually a 2-year long wait for this film. I'm sure this must have felt a lot longer for veteran fans as opposed to me who had just watched it recently. But anyway, the movie came out a few years ago and takes us back to the fantasy world where Kazuma and his friends are still going on some crazy adventures. Soon enough, they get a message from Megumin's home and the gang decides to pack up their bags and go off on another adventure. And one of the things that I really like about this film is that we finally get to see where Megumin grew up. Because in the second season of the anime, we got a good look at where Darkness grew up, and we also took a trip to a city where, for whatever reason, the people worship Aqua. So it's nice to see that Megumin gets some attention in this film. Speaking of attention, one of the running jokes that this film highlights is how Kazuma believes that he's finally entered his popular phase with the ladies, where some of the women that we encounter in this film feel somewhat attracted to him. More on that later. But anyway, the movie pretty much hits the ground running and wastes no time in getting our characters from point A to point B, where we finally get to see just how powerful Megumin's people are. And when we see these Crimson Demons in action, it sort of reminds you of the Star Wars prequels when audiences got a good look at just how powerful the Jedi were when they were at their prime. It sort of makes you wonder what happened to Megumin because all she can do is one type of spell as opposed to some of the other Crimson Demons who can run circles around her. But going back to the film, one of the things that I really enjoyed was how the story pretty much follows the same format that we saw in the past 2 seasons, but does more to elevate things. This is in fact a movie. And what I mean by that is the story focuses on showing off the new setting for our characters to play around in without going too deep into the lore mythology, but just enough to keep viewers interested. It also does provide some foreshadowing as to who the main villain of the movie is going to be. And finally, the story makes plenty of time to make people laugh as we see Kazuma and his friends get into some funny situations, especially Kazu Trash. Going back to what I said earlier, one of the running jokes this film focuses on is Kazu Creep's popularity phase as he seems to hit off with some of the women in this film. Some of them. From beginning to end, we see Kazuma go on a roller coaster of emotions as he gets into some crazy situations with Megumin, Megumin's rival, a pack of female orcs, and even the movie's main villain. Now, just like how I mentioned in my last Konosuba video, while those moments are hilarious to watch, this movie should be watched in private because if someone walks in on you, you're gonna get some very questionable looks. Also, going back to what I said in my last video, one of the criticisms I had was how even though Kazuma is the hero of the story, there were still times where it was very hard to root for him. Well, the movie doubles down on this in the funniest ways as we see Kazu Creep make a comeback where he acts even more like a pervert in this film. And some of those moments are very funny, but also very cringy as we see just how weird Kazu Trash can get. One scene in particular that anyone can somewhat relate to is sharing a bed with your best friend. Now, while most people will just get into bed so they can get some sleep, you have people like Kazuma who overthink these things, which makes the scene even more awkward. Also, one of the other fun criticisms I had about this series is how the anime really makes it easy for you to dislike Aqua in a very fun sort of way. However, in the movie, the story tends to focus more on the relationship between Kazuma and Megumin while still showing a bit of Aqua here and there. That's not to say she's out of the woods yet, as there are still some moments where she is somewhat responsible for events to come, which leads to a very fun theory that my brother and I have about the series. Now, we have not read any of the light novels. This has nothing to do with the movie. This is just us speculating, but we believe that Aqua accidentally created the Devil King. Again, my brother and I have not read any of the light novels. We're just looking at how some of the biggest threats that we've seen in this series were somewhat connected to Aqua. But anyway, going back to the film, I really enjoyed it. It's funny, the story is simple, and the visuals look phenomenal as we see well-animated effects for when Megumin and her people use their magic. Now, since this movie came out in 2019, we're coming up on 3 years since this movie last resurfaced, which makes me hope that soon, very soon, we're gonna get something new in the near future. Whether it's another season or a new movie, this series has been long overdue for another installment, which gets me very excited because I can't wait to watch this series with everyone else. Well, that's gonna do for this video, guys. That was my overall review for the Konosuba movie, Legend of the Crimson. If you like what you saw, click the subscribe button so you can get all these updates from this channel. I'll see you next time with a brand new video. Bye-bye.